Hello and welcome everyone, it is me, the Lover, also known as the Power to Duelist, back for you with something a bit simpler and also something different. As you know, maybe some of you have kind of caught on by now. Grinding the account back up to where I left off last month for the Moth Rank grind. I do like to switch things up a bit, and I stumbled upon an actually competent deck for once. What a twist. This is me on Bystial Dragonlink, as you can probably tell by the cards in hand, against someone who is going off on their Ritual Dogmatika combos. Ritual Dogmatika probably also like one of those like just not good decks that is just not a feel good thing to play against because of this guy, Albazoa, and there goes half my extra deck. I'm actively choosing this, Albazoa doesn't, just rip. But the Matrix and White Relic do allow for that. In a lot of cases, it's just, me saying, hey, we can maybe still cook with this, Harpy's Feather Duster here for the Dogmatika Matrix, just in the hopes of, like, not getting, another card ripped out of my extra deck, going Black Metal Dragon into Striker. Fairly standard Dragon Link stuff you're gonna see here first of all. White Relic, of course, chaining here to rip another card out of my extra while I'm trying to search for a Boot Sector launch and a Red Eyes monster, which is going to be Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. Which very cool new card, honestly. Still allows you to run Cyframe Gear Gamma, despite, the absolutely horrendous ratios you are forced to play in that package. Even worse in the TCG, but I think still absolutely horrid in Master Duel due to the fact that a 2-to-1 just, it doesn't feel good, when 3-to-1 is just something, that nature clearly intended. I get very lucky here, to be honest, because I think without, hard drawing the one Dragon Ravine, I'd be in a whole lot of trouble by now. Sending the Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon here after equipping it with a Black Metal Dragon for the Bystial Lubellion, which places the branded beast, which I get to then banish the Bystial Lubellion for the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon that I was allowed to search. This Chamber Dragonmaid I ripped off the top is something that I think Dragon Link list around I want to say 2020 to 2021 were like kind of tinkering with as like a small engine. Chamber Dragonmaid and Dragonmaid tidying, basically being, Chamber Dragonmaid grabs you tidying. Tidying is just like a compulsory evacuation device. You bounce a dragon and you bounce a monster your opponent controls, and you can banish it from the grave to revive a Dragonmaid. So you kind of have, a cycling engine that kind of resets itself for disruption, which is very nice. Makes this deck able to play like fairly low to the ground, as you just saw. I wasn't, doing a whole lot with my extra deck. I grabbed the Boot Sector launch, which was kind of cute. And then just passed on, like, a couple trap cards, and then some, essentially. Going down to shoutouts to one extra deck card. My opponent going for, Maximus, rip a couple cards here. After, I think, very mistakenly hitting Regained instead of Branded Beast. I think you definitely shoot for Branded Beast first and then for Regained. But that's a different story. Attempting to go for game here. Trying to kill me off, but just not getting there. In the end phase, that is why I think in all those, Branded or like Bystial setups, always shoot for the Branded Beast first. It is a much, much, much more dangerous card. Going Dragon Ravine here, getting to send Absolrotter for a Rocket Synchron, which does indeed enable the one who's still holding out, in Borreload Savage Dragon, to make like a silly reference to maybe Europeans will get Asterix and Obelix, if that's like how those characters are called in French. I'll maybe put up a picture, that one Gaul village that was still holding up. I believe it's Gaul is like the correct English word for like some older French folk. Maybe actual French people can correct me on that. I believe it's like a French comic. But yeah. Do not get the value off of Regained here, which is so sad. That would have been a draw and everything. because the Antis pops it. We get to banish the Absorauder here for Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, bring back Bystial Serenir. And at this point, I feel very confident, going for Boot Sector launch, as Dragon Ravine has kind of done its job. I've gotten the Bystials into rotation off of dumping a Serenir, gotten, the first couple rockets out of my deck off of the Absorauder. So here I just, punch a couple people, and in the end phase, I do get my Branded regained back. Kind of forgetting that Chamber Dragonmaid bounces herself in, gets returned to hand in the end phase off of Tidying. Since that way, I could have just, tributed her off and kept the Rocket Synchron around, but, who cares? I still have a Bystial in hand. Banishing the Heavenly Spheres here, and I think Savage by now is feeling a bit lonely, so might as well give him a little friend. Opponent decides to crash the Witch here for like a search. A Silent Magician, not necessarily, the most common choice in Ritual Dogmatika, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. Going to normal Chamber Dragonmaid. I think I am on... I've gone through both Tidyings by now. I only am on 2 copies. I personally don't know why I'm firing this Cult by the Grave here. I think I thought that Silent Magician could negate Branded Regained, but it only negates activations and not effects. So yeah, I just Beast, trigger the Serenir upon being sent. Silent Magician will float into a Silent Magician level 8, but I get to dump Magnamod here and trigger Regained immediately on a new chain to summon back Magnamod, which is incredible. This just like whole loop of just like Regain, summoning Magnamod, grabbing another Bystial, banishing a card, drawing a card of Regained. Every single turn you essentially get to go +2 off of this. It is insane. We go Heavenly Spheres here once the Dogmatika Matrix comes down, because that is a continuous spell trap that needs to stay on field to resolve. And since our opponent can only activate 1, we are pretty fine afterwards. Battle phase gets entered here. I still have, the other Bystial in hand. I get to banish the Dissipator here. Trigger Regained to recycle the Dissipator and just put a body on the board. Druisworm will send Silent Magician level 8 here, but I think this is looking very much like a win. Bystial Lubellion off the top is very funny here, because that's actually, I believe, what enables game here. Not to, like, fully spoil it, but I'm doing pretty good here by now. Even if I, for a moment, was on like 1 extra deck card. But these Bystials in like in a very simplified game state, these are just absolutely crazy. The removal off of Beast, and as mentioned, you essentially get to go +2 each turn off of Branded Regained. It is simply crazy. And with 4,600 life point left before I enter combat here and 2 Bystials on the board, that will be game. I think we'll take a quick look at the deck lists afterwards. I believe I can quickly do that from the replay menu here. Yes, confirm opponent's deck. This was the deck list my opponent played. Fairly standard Ritual Dogmatika stuff, a bit of non-engine. I still think this card's so cool for like any spellcaster deck, but it's sadly probably just not good. But yeah, with that, I quickly swap over to my Dragon Link list, and then we'll maybe take a moment to talk about that. And here we are. This is the Dragon Link list that I played. I don't think this is something absolutely revolutionary. These are very standard ratios. I just cut, Chaos Ruler, because he's getting banned tomorrow, and the Chaos Dragon package off of Seyfert, and the 2 Baby Dragons, because White Dragon Wyver Burster is getting banned tomorrow. And I wanted to try this. Chamber Dragonmaid's a very cool card for reasons that should be obvious. And Dragonmaid Tidying, as mentioned, just an incredibly cool trap that allows this deck to play like a lot lower to the ground, and still have, some insane grind game behind it that isn't just, make Boral and Savage Dragon, and then, just like sit on that, which is really cool. Something I've really come to enjoy. That also, like, kind of surprised me. I usually thought, like, Dragon Link was this, very, very high ceiling wombo combo deck. But, this deck can do it all, I guess, You can play high roll lines. into, you know, big setups like Savage Boral and but you can also just, you know, as you guys just saw, chill on a couple Bystials and outvalue your opponent over a couple of turns. But with that out of the way, I think this is where I will cut it off. Let me know down below if you would like to see more of these, like, kind of replay showcases where I maybe take, like, a game I've played while, you know, grinding the account back up. Be it Morphtronics or just another deck I played at that point in time. Because I'd be down to, like, do this, because it's also just, like, you know, a way to maybe showcase some other stuff and gets at least a bit more variety on the channel, you know. But yeah, with all that out of the way, if you're still watching by now, I would like to thank you guys very, very much for watching, and I will see you guys again next time. But until then, goodbye.